Well, good morning, Daze with Jordan the Lion. I already had somebody tapping on the back of my chair. Tap, tap, tap. There he went. Well, guys, it's finally not raining, so I finally might get to do that vlog that I wanted to do for you for a while. Well, it's a little bit muddier today than I expected it to be, so I'm going to postpone our vlog. Plus, that'll give me a chance to go home and learn the camera and get it all set up. But looking at the Hollywood sign, it gave me an idea of what I'm going to do today. After we leave the park, since I pass by this every time I go to the park, I figured now's the time to tell you the story. And one of the main crime scenes of our story is right there. The H in the Hollywood sign. Oh, this place is packed. I mean, you can't even find parking here today. I got lucky. Well, every tourist known to man is out here today. You can tell. You can probably hear them all. Guys, I hope you got to watch my video from yesterday. How cool is that? Watched a whole movie with Quentin Tarantino right next to us. And some of the fans of the show came out, approached me in line, were like super excited to meet me. And what I told him was, I said, that night is the reason that I really wanted to vlog, is because nobody would believe some of the stories and the things that I lived through if I didn't vlog them now. Because I could tell you, oh, I sat next to Tarantino in the movie, but I was able to put it on film, and I love that stuff. He's found some buddies. All he wants is to be chased. Now he's actually being social. He showed up and he immediately ran to a pack of dogs, and now he's not. You know what's weird though? This is totally off topic, but it's something that Trisha told me, and I couldn't believe this. She said that she posted a picture of herself on Instagram eating a donut, and she wears glasses. The company that manufactures her glasses found that picture and started using it to promote their glasses on their website. And apparently, because she posted it to Instagram, they can just do that. So they took her picture, posted their logo for the glasses and everything on it, and they basically told her, hey, thanks for wearing our glasses. We'll give you 40% off when you come in, and we're just going to use your image from your Instagram and not pay you. I guess for somebody like me who uses photos in their vlogs and stuff, that's kind of cool, but as an actor, it's not cool at all. So like I said, the tale of our story today involves the Hollywood sign. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go to the house of Peg Entwistle. Peg Entwistle was the actress who, more notably, is known for jumping off the Hollywood sign to her death. She jumped off the H. But there's a little bit more to the story than you might imagine, because many people think that's all she was. But truly, she was a very gifted actress. And I'm going to tell you about it when we get there. This is the one crappy thing about coming to this park, is that, well, especially on the holidays, everybody that's here in town has found on some sort of website that this is where you can get a good picture of the Hollywood sign. So they all bring their dogs out here, and then what they do is they start socializing, and they don't watch their dogs at all. So in the 15 minutes I've been here, there's already been 3 yiping dogs because a dog has 3 times the size has been chasing it, scaring it. 2 of the dogs ran out into the street while the owners were standing there screwing around on their phone, not paying attention. And then John and I just had to move all the way over here because there's a gigantic like sheep herding dog that won't let him take a step. Every step he takes, the dog jumps on top, like over top of him, and he literally is afraid to take a step. And the lady who owns the dog, of course, is sitting over there goofing off, talking about Beyonce or whatever it is that she's talking about. So I physically had to pick up Ja, bring him all the way over here, and then her dog followed us the whole way. She still didn't do anything, so finally I just yelled at her dog, go home, and I hear the lady finally says, Mama, come back over here, Mama. Jesus. If you're going to have a dog, you have to watch the dog. You have to. I always have my eye on Ja. He's literally right behind me right now. I always know where he's at. Be responsible, folks. In 1932, very little known actress named Peg Entwistle walked from here mile and a half up the road to the Hollywood sign, climbed to the top and jumped off. And here's her story. Peg Entwistle was actually born Lillian Entwistle, and she was actually born in England. At the age of 8 years old, her father decided to move the whole family to New York City shortly after Peg's mother died. 6 years later, he was walking home from work and he was hit while walking across the street by a hit-and-run driver. Her brothers were then sent to California to live with their Uncle Harold in this house, and Peg stayed in New York and began her career in Broadway. She actually was in 10 Broadway productions. Most of them were flops, but she was actually pretty good and received good reviews for it. One of which, and the first of which, being Hamlet. In 1927, Peg met a man named Robert Keith, and she married Robert Keith. The problem was, she had the wedding annulled pretty quickly because she found out that Robert Keith was actually married before her, and she didn't want that, and he had also fathered a child, and she didn't want that as well. So she had it annulled and began working on a goal to move to Los Angeles, and she did. She eventually moved out here, not into this house, but she moved into the Hollywood Athletic Club, where I showed you guys where Bela Lugosi once lived, and Charlie Chaplin. She moved in there and was shortly thereafter put in a few productions, plays out here, which is what she was known for. She was mainly a Broadway actress, and actually Betty Davis cited Peg Entwistle as being one of the influences on Broadway that made her want to become an actress. Peg had moved out here. She was signed to RKO and put in the movie 13th Women. Unfortunately, most of her parts were cut, and the critics just lambasted the production. Shortly thereafter, she was dropped, couldn't afford her apartment, and had to come live here with Harold. In 1932, suffering many setbacks, Peg had decided that she was going to go ahead and she was going to move back to New York City. Unfortunately, she just couldn't secure enough money for a train ticket, and she fell into even more depression. She was living here with Uncle Harold and told him one night she was going to go for a walk up to the pharmacy. And the pharmacy was right up there where the Invasion of the Body Snatchers scene was filmed that I took you guys to. And the same pharmacy right there that she was going to was where the antique store was that I took you to that time. And you can see from here the Hollywood sign. What she ended up doing was she ended up walking from here all the way to the top of the Hollywood sign, and there was a service ladder up there attached to the H. She climbed to the top of the H, took off all of her clothes, threw them off the H, threw her purse off the H, and inside her purse was a suicide note. The next morning, a hiker was out hiking through the Hollywoodland hills at that time. It wasn't Hollywood Hills, it was the Hollywoodland sign. He was up there hiking, found her clothes, found her purse, opened it up, found the letter, and then anonymously took the purse and the clothes and belongings over to the Hollywood Police Department and left them on the front steps. The Hollywood Police Department really didn't know where to start because the suicide note was signed simply P.E. So what they did was they published it in the newspaper, hoping that somebody that might be missing a loved one might see that, might recognize the handwriting or the P.E. And eventually Harold saw that and came forward. At the age of 24 years old, Peg Entwistle ended her life. Inside her purse was the suicide note, and it said, I'm afraid I'm a coward. I'm sorry. I should have done this a long time ago and saved myself a lot of pain. Signed P.E. She was 24 years old. Her body was cremated and buried in Glendale, Ohio. Such a tragic loss, because throughout time she'll always only be known as the woman who jumped off the Hollywood sign because she was a nobody actress, which is not the case. She was an established Broadway actress, and she was somebody who had a future, and somebody who, from all accounts of the footage that was remaining, she did a really good job in 13 Women, and it was just unfortunate they happened to edit so much of her parts out and subsequently ended her life. Man, Vernwood, I have been looking for a week for the bubble mailers that I need to mail out your records, and I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to improvise with what I bought today so I can get it out into the mail. I'm sorry, but I'll pack it safe. I usually use one particular thing, and none of the 99-cent stores have them. I don't know why. Crazy. One thing that I did think was kind of odd and kind of interesting enough to include in this was that when I told you that Peg Entwistle had been married for a short time to a man named Robert Keith, and that she actually ended that marriage because she found out that he had been married before and had a son. The son's name was Brian Keith, and Brian Keith went on to be on the TV show Family Affair. He also ended up killing himself, as did his daughter Daisy. I just thought that was kind of an interesting little part to the story that I wanted to include. Alright, if I owe you guys mail, we're on our way to do it now. Via the Jaw Express. Well, the Express has to take a pit stop. Ever seen the Museum of Death with a line waiting outside? It's so weird. That is so weird. I wonder what the deal is there. I mean, that was like easily 30 people waiting to get in. That place never has anybody outside. That's just like a walk right in place. I don't know. It's weird. Of course. I'm so glad I just walked all the way down here to find out they're taking an extra day off. That was a completely wasted trip. This is just one of those days. I'm going home and locking the door. I'm done, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. There's actually a guy up here. He's like looks like he's about 18 or 19. And he's kind of entrepreneurial. I kind of give him a little bit of credit because I think he's homeless, but what he's doing is he's went to the souvenir shop around here where you can buy like generic LA hats for $5 each. He bought them, has a bunch of markers, and he's like adding on and designing more stuff onto them and trying to sell them. So when I go by, I'm going to show you. There he is. Good job, man. It's a great idea. When I was editing the video, I noticed that the guy who was drawing on the hats actually has the Chris Paul shoes that I really want. They were like 2 versions ago, like 2 years ago, and he was actually wearing the ones that I really still want. I don't know, maybe holiday money or something, maybe I'll buy them, but they're probably only like $50 now, but I just thought that was funny as I was editing. I'm like, he's got the cool Chris Pauls! Well, there's local legend Angelina's car. Angeline was in like one movie in the 80s, and then she just got a bunch of billboards around town for years. And when I moved here, well, there she is. When I moved here, she was she would buy her own billboards, and it would just say "Hire Angeline," and there she was. There she is. Right, I ordered some pad thai, and it should be ready. Do you guys see this? They actually have an Asian Elvis statue in there for when they used to do karaoke all the time. Let's see if my food's ready here. Oh gosh, this pad thai is good. So good! So good! In a couple days I'm not going to be able to have anything like this, so enjoying it now. Vlog over, guys. Till tomorrow.